That's just so cool. You know, I'm geeking out on geology stuff, but I love this, man. These are the kinds of things that will lead you to the gold. So in this ravine coming down, we have a large porphyry dike intrusion right here. Runs from here to over here. We come over to this side and look at this big old hole. We're gonna have to check this out here. But here you can see the porphyry, this white, this lighter colored rock right here. This is a porphyry dike intrusion. And it does have some little stringers and mineralization within. There's a little piece of pyrite right there. We have granite country rock, and then where the dike intrudes, it looks like we have a mineralized portion here. And the dike cuts from here all the way to over there, that big outcropping. So that's a good 30, 35 foot wide this dike is. So it's pretty cool. It looks like this dike intrusion brought along some mineralized fluids with it as well. We're gonna take a look at the country rock, the granite right here. This is fairly coarse-grained granite. You can see it's somewhat crumbly and the crystals are larger, so this is what we call coarse-grained granite. And then pretty close to the dike, we have another stringer. There's a fault within the granite right here. You can see the stringer coming down this way. And if we look at it closer, it's quartz. And it's starting to grow some little quartz crystals. We have some sulfide showing, some iron mineralization, and ooh, actually crumbly right there. But this stuff actually looks halfway decent. So we have this stringer. Ooh, here you go. See these squares? Those are sulfides. Those are pyrite cubes that have oxidized. All the sulfide minerals have leached away and it's left hematite and limonite replacement cubes. Frequently, this is where we can find the free milling gold. So here we can see the first quartz stringers on the right side. We're gonna follow it over. We got more massive granite. Then over here on the left flank is where we have the dike intrusive. I think we're gonna have to crawl into this hole and see if we have any good mineralization. All right, here we go. Never been in here. All right, we don't have any animals hiding. Doesn't look like it. Oh man. Woo! A little slippery. Let's see if my headlamp's working. Wow. All right, so let's take a look at this prospect. We have all kinds of white staining on the rock. We'll have to take a look at that here in just a second. And it looks like here they're chasing that quartz vein we saw at the right flank surface down this way. And over here, it goes from coarse-grained granite to, you can see the stark difference. This is that dike intrusive. So we're also going to take a look to see if we have any mineralization along that contact right there. So this white material leaching out, it actually has a tinge of green to it. So it's possible that this quartz vein is carrying some copper minerals as well. And this could be copper leaching out. Copper and gold go hand in hand. Wow. Well, looks like with all these little holes here at the face, boom. Got a little boom right there. Boom, boom, boom. A long time ago, someone probably came in here and chiseled some out to sample and assay. We have a mine below here, but it's on a different vein. Be interesting to see if this vein's running gold as well. But look at that. This is a pretty weird little sample hole. It's about the size of my fist, and I could stick it in about 6-8 inches. Pretty curious. Ooh, actually, maybe they were crystal hunting. You see that? Back at the back of the hole, that's a beautiful, nice, full quartz crystal. We have a plate of quartz up there as well. That's pretty neat. We have some moss growing back in the hole. Kind of looks like a little hobbit house. Pretty wild. Well, this is a pretty interesting little prospect hole. We got a vein here. The main vein in mine is about 15 feet that way in the middle of the porphyry intrusive. But what's cool about this hole is it's pretty large. It's super sound. It's got a nice bottom. We got daylight right out here, and actually you could transform this hole into some kind of storage area, or heck, you could even make a base camp, little kitchen and a bed down in here and be totally hidden from anybody. I like it. All right, let's take a look at the porphyry dike contact. You can see the rock is completely different from here to here. And a lot of times where the dikes push in, you know, there could be veinlets and stringers within the dike itself, but a lot of times along the contact where the granite meets the porphyry, there could be an enrichment zone over there. So what we're seeing is a little bit of sulfides and clay, which tells me that when the dike intruded, some fluids did seep along the contact where the fluid was under much higher pressure and it had a place to escape. So there very well could be some mineralization up there. That little pocket looks kind of interesting. The only way to really find out is to take a sample, crush pan, and do a fire assay. So we're gonna explore a little bit more, but this little hole is pretty cool. All right, let's crawl back out to daylight. Ooh, look at that. Right there. That's interesting. I'm going to leave it intact. We have some quartz iron staining, a little bit of limonite. It's looking interesting. This is in the porphyry. Ooh, some of these pieces are just really cool. Look at that. Just the patterns on it are unbelievable. Some people collect these and resell them as specimens. You can cab this and make potentially pretty cabochons. I'm going to call this the dendritic dike intrusive stone. Pretty cool. A lot of it has that dendritic growth pattern on it. Here's a little quartz stringer that could be running values, who knows? Here's another one. So it does look like this porphyry is mineralized itself. So we have contacts, the mineralized porphyry, and there's the main vein that's running right within the middle of the porphyry dike as well. Pretty cool. So we're back outside the hole, walking over to the other side of the dike here. You can see giant blocks are calving off. We're gonna explore back up this way, see if we can find any more prospects and potentially look for other hidden vein exposures that we might be able to exploit up top. So we're gonna see if we can trace the structure, the dike and the veining uphill back here and see if we can delineate and find some more veins. So when you're out prospecting, you're always looking for things that are different, that catch your eye. I just looked up and here's a feature that's worth noting and investigating. So here you can see these giant granite blocks. They're tilted down at this angle here, you know, and it runs for a good 100 feet that way and it tilts down. So this is showing the bedding plane of this granite block right here to be like this. And it looked like that porphyry dike intrusion was also running like this. And it could very well be running along the granite at this same dip. So right now underfoot we're walking across that dike, and over here we have a nice clean outcropping of this weathered granite. And what's cool about this is it's in the bottom of the wash, so whenever there's flash floods it washes all the material off the rock, and we can actually take a look at the bedrock now. You'll notice that the surface is very uneven. It goes in and out because this vein is made up of much more quartz, and quartz is much harder and more resistant than the more mixed granite beside it. So you can see this is weathering out, the quartz is staying, and then here we have granite again, you know, feldspar, plagioclase, mica, and it's weathering more quickly than the solid quartz. This quartz band is also of some interest. I mean, here we have some mineralized inclusions. You can see a little veinlet on these are very square, so these are probably oxidized pyrite cubes. And it looks like the granite on the opposite side of the hole over there has some mineralized stringers in it as well. So you really just got to keep your eyes peeled, read the ground, keep looking for clues, and investigate. Continuing up the wash here, the resistance of the quartz is even more noticeable, but this just caught my eye. Look at this stringer right here. Tiny little mineralized quartz stringer right within the granite. And if there's enough of these within close proximity to one another, and if they're carrying values, this whole block of mass might be worth running. Here is the resistant quartz I was talking about. If you look up from here to there, we have like a mohawk. And This is right in the middle of the wash. You would think this would be the deepest portion of the little ravine. However, it's intruded with the solid quartz. I mean, look at this block, smack dab in the middle of this little wash. And if you look at it, it's comprised almost entirely of quartz. And that's why it's not eroding as quickly. And it goes up here. You can follow it up into the granite all the way to here. And then it looks like it's split. Wow, this is my first time back up in here, but with all these granite monoliths, kind of looks like Stonehenge and looks really wild. But it also looks like cougar country. I like to use the snow to my advantage because I can't fight it. But in this case, you can take a look behind me. The north facing side of the slope is covered in snow. The south facing side is free of snow. It forces me to look at different areas, and you just never know when you're gonna find something interesting. Here we have this big granite monolith, and right at the base I could see a little hole which caught my eye, so we're gonna go take a look at that. Some little critters made a nest back in here. So the stuff that's glittering on there, that's biotite mica. It's a type of fool's gold. Now there's no saying that there isn't any gold in it, but that shimmering we're seeing is biotite mica. And these features are just wild. Look at this up there. We had little balancing pillars. It kind of looks like we have a little bit of a cave down here. What is it? So we have different types of rock coming together. You can see the daylight down in there. Wow, look at this feature behind me. It's got so much character, water weathering, sand blasting, Aeolian action. It's pretty freaking cool. It's like a giant sculpture. Wild. We got this. Let's go take a closer look. Pretty wild stuff. Look at that up there. What the heck? Check these things out. This is just a spine of more resistant material jutting up into the sky. We got that little knob right over there. So we spotted some super wild granite deformation up here behind us. I don't know if you can see it here and here. We're gonna go take a closer look, but on the way up, some pretty rose quartz. It doesn't look mineralized, but sure is cool. All of a sudden, I'm seeing a lot more float quartz. It's pretty boring, but there are some mineralized pockets within it. All right, more geeking out. This is where I sat down, take a quick little break. Look at this chunk of quartz. Guess what we have there, guys? That's black tourmaline. And we also got some pyrite cubes in there as well. So this stuff must be eroding out of a vein somewhere up in here. Ooh, rabbit! Spooked him. Did you see that? Woo! That gave me a little bit of a startle. Did you guys see that little guy? I'm surprised he stayed as close as he did for so long. Now this is pretty cool, guys. Whoa. Whole flock of birds. Look at that. Right behind me, when we talk about rocks being deformed, squished, bent, kind of like a wave. It comes like here, all the way up and around, and we have these bent, squished layers. And then up there we have a super gnarly one. You can see how that rock is just bent and curved. And when it was under tremendous heat and pressure, the rock can deform and bend. On the way up to this next one, there's mineralized stuff up here as well. Look at that. So you got some sort of vein to look for up here as well. Oh, this rock right here looks totally different than everything else. Looks more of a gneiss, which it is, and it's got a little band of greenstone in it as well. So where the heck did that guy come from? Right behind me, here's this balancing rock. Look at this, we got a bigger quartz vein intrusion right here. Here we go, guys, look at this. That's just so cool. Wow, guys, this is so exciting. I don't know why little things like this get me so excited, but this is so freaking cool. The whole landscape is all this gnarly rock, spires and what have you. We're talking about veins, fissures, gold, and here we have a beautiful example of mountain building right here exposed for us to look at. This is just so cool. I wish I could take this thing and plop it down on my property. It's so cool. It's like a giant work of art. Wow, this thing's just amazing. It's got to be a good 20-30 feet tall. Seemingly normal granite here. And then we have this giant lump of boulder. And maybe it's a little bit harder because right around it we're getting You know, old man wrinkly chin right here coming down, and it just folds and bends right along this giant rock and then juts up into the sky. Man, is that cool. This is one of the coolest things I've found in a while. Super exciting, man. Let's go take a look at the backside of it. Got some quartz. Here we got some more massive granite. But up there on that top piece, you can see it's broken along the bottom. It's gonna fall, mass wasting and erode down sooner or later. So that could be part of a vein feature that juts back down in here somewhere. It might be a little hard to see, but right behind me you can see where different bedrock changes occur. So you can see we have an erosion gully down here, and that's where our dikes run in. We got some old prospect trenches right there. Here's a more resistant mass sticking up. And then the gully cuts up this way as well. We got something that looks interesting over there, but the rock changes down in here. You can tell from here. We just walked up on something that proves my theory, so let's take a look at it. And here we got a block of boulders that are different than everything else around here. They're more quartz rich, swirled. It's almost turning into gneiss, but this is more resistant rock. We haven't seen any of this anywhere on this claim, so I'm thinking there must be a mass of this buried here somewhere in the mountain. It's pretty wild how little clues from reading the land and then finding evidence like this can prove your assumptions. Gives you a better picture of the area and you can piece the puzzle back together. You know, I'm geeking out on geology stuff, but I love this, man. These are the kinds of things that will lead you to the gold. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's find some more. I want these videos to be informative and educational for you guys. You know, I'm learning along with you as we go. So coming up, I already see what they were kind of chasing here. Look at that. There's some nicely mineralized quartz. Could be petersite, which is black silver bearing sulfide. Up here we got a quartz vein with little nuggets in there. A big chunk of something. Oh yeah, so here's a big quartz vein. It's got some crystals in it as well, but we certainly do have some mineralization. Some pyrites right there. I'm a little hesitant to step down in the snow because I don't know if we got a shaft dipping down. See some kind of vein over here. Whoa. We got a quartz vein within the granite. This doesn't look like quite the stuff, but I do know that these few samples certainly look interesting. I can't help myself. Cave structures are just too interesting. We gotta investigate. Mountain lion country, so let's hope we don't spook anything. Goes back a little ways. Look at that. So we got a different type of rock sitting right there. Let's go take a look at it. Ooh, it smells getting a little bit of a ripe smell up here. Here we do have big feldspar cubes. This might be the area that the tourmaline's coming out of. See if we can navigate down this. It's not exactly the flattest terrain. Hey! Massive quartz intruding the granite. Look at those giant quartz crystals. These pieces of vein we uncovered back there, and we got some float over here. We got these two really nice pieces right next to one another. I'm actually gonna have these assayed. They look so good. Bag and tag these. Nice little prospect pit right here. Going down, let's see what they were chasing. Yeah, some nicely mineralized quartz. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. That's still in place. It's not even been dug out of the ground yet. It's a big behemoth right there. Ooh, we got a little bit of pink showing. What the heck is that? I think my fears have been confirmed. Holy, are we lucky this guy's not in here right now. At the bottom of this prospect pit, we got a little bedding area and some scat. Looks like mountain lion's hideout. So on the way down, we got this chunk of ore. Look at that frickin' bastard. Holy cow, look at that. Oh my god. He was sleeping right down in here. Look at those giant turds. This is a big old mountain lion. Back to the vein at hand. The mountain lion knows, and I know that this prospect pit certainly deserves more investigation. Well shoot, after finding that cougar bedding area, man, I'm smelling that potent smell as I smelled before. It's probably mountain lion urine. He's marking his territory, which got me a little frightened because it's winter. To him, I'm probably a tasty morsel. But the reason we came over here is we're talking about veins. Look at that white vein in that rock. See how it's jutting up and down? Veins almost never run straight. Fractures and voids within the rock. And here's an example. It doesn't look like a gold vein, but you can see how veins can meander, shift, and turn. This vein does some crazy things. That piece blocked off of here, but look at the vein. Down, up, across, and who knows what it does over there. Oh no, I just rounded the turn. I'm gonna turn the camera on just in case something crazy happens. What the hell am I gonna do? Better take my pick out. This isn't much protection, but it's something. Man, that smell is overpowering. I don't know. Probably shouldn't be going in here, but right around the corner, maybe see him lurking at me behind my shoulder. Oh man, the curiosity of the treasure hunter in me just can't resist. But I see a bedding area in this nook over here. I hope there's not a mountain lion in there, guys. But if there is, and if this is my final video, I love my family, love you, Mama. I'm doing what I love. I just can't help myself. I gotta look, but I smell that cat piss. It's strong. All right, let's go. Let's go take a look. I'm gonna try to keep my foot not making noise. If he was in here, hopefully he got spooked away already. Oh, come on. I don't know if I should look. Oh man, see all that bedding pile right there? Right around the corner, he could have a nook. He could be hiding right in there. Where are you at, kitty? Oh man, shit. I'm gonna go from a different angle. Check my surroundings. Oh, this is not smart. Oh man. Oh, he's packed that fort full. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm not gonna put my head in there. He could be back around the corner. That was pretty ridiculous. I can smell him. There's a mountain lion den, guys. This is pretty ridiculous. I can smell him. I'm not gonna go any further. That's mountain lion den, guys. You see that? Stay away. You smell that strong stench, stay away unless you're just nuts and looking for that gold. Ooh. Look at that vein structure right there. We got one right there. Oh, vein structures, and I'm looking at mountain lion trouble. Holy cow, I'm gonna look. Oh shit. Oh man. Not good. Oh, there's a bunch of tracks. See that in the snow? There's tracks. Probably hides out in that little nook as well. Oh boy. Oh man, guys, that was intense. Whew. Curiosity got the better of me on that one. Fortunately, I'm alive to tell the tale, but now I found the mountain lion hangout, and I might have to call this place the Cougar Den. Thanks, Cougar Man, for protecting the gold. We got ore up here, guys. Look at that. So it looks like a vein runs clear across here somewhere, and there's no evidence of anyone digging up here before. So we got multiple veins to search for, guys. We got a couple known ones. The temperature dropped right quick. I had my jacket off for a while there. We came up to the top looking around. This is how people die in the mountains. That's why I'm talking about layering and keeping dry. It's very important. We got some really good looking float pocket right here, right below the Cougar Den. Bounce straight down. These pieces, this definitely looks like what you're looking for. Look at this one. That's a big mama jama right there. That's a wide vein as well. We're gonna leave those here in a pile so we can re-find it here in the future. I'm still worked up from that cougar incident and pretty darn cold, but walking back here, I always try to walk in different areas. We just looked at that big piece of float, and I think I'm actually walking along a vein right here. We got this piece with a bunch of limonite in it. We find the gold in this stuff right here. And there's a bunch of these pieces. Here's a really nice piece. It's like quartz teeth with pockets of hematite. And right here below all this float, we got more pieces. And this big chunk right here looks like a piece of that dike. So the dike cuts up through here somewhere. We got mineralization within it or along it. I think I found the vein extension. We had that float, piece of dike down there. I'm walking down this way. Finding more scatterings of interesting looking stuff. Right down here, we got these pieces. But what's of interest is this right here. And this piece right here, highly mineralized, has nice little veins, quartz, hematite, and it's a big piece. So my guess is that this vein runs down this way, follows down here, and the dike and the vein flanks the side of it. Here's that granite block. Right down here at the base of it, we keep finding more and more pieces of ore. You know, look at this stuff. Right here. Right here. This, all this. So that vein's gotta be right below us. Running on down and connecting to the main diggings down there. 300 feet further down canyon. And, whoa, what's that? Look at that piece. Holy moly, that's nice right there. Solid dark hematite banding. That's a cool piece. It's a very obvious piece, so I'm gonna leave it right here. I like to do that so we can actually prospect. Ooh, look at that. Follow these floaters, find the vein, and develop a mine. That's what it's all about. We're not just picking up rocks. We do have bears as well. Down at the entrance of the main mine, here's the main vein they worked in on down here. And we're gonna follow it down. Bent and squished and rolled just like that.